Hey guys, what's going on? This is Pants Art Dragon, and today we're doing the top 5 best junglers for patch 5.22 or the preseason. In this preseason, a lot of changes have been made and a lot of indirect buffs to the junglers and buffs have been happening. So some junglers are actually back in the meta, while others, like the AP junglers, are kind of weaker. And so with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, so number 5 is going to be Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai is a really good versatile jungler of Season 5, so she still makes it to the tier list. In terms of items, not much has really changed for her. Her carry build, the Titanic Hydra, and Black Cleaver have been nerfed, so I feel like she can go other builds like Frozen Mallet. And also in terms of early game, since this is a snowball meta, I feel like she does have that early game control and can snowball definitely to win the game. She has that map control with her ultimate, and Triker's Knife is a good item on her since she was one of the users of the Sightstone. Since when she was burrowed, she didn't really have any vision, so it just kind of helps there, unless of course you want to go Skirmishers or Stalkers for better ganks. Next up at number 4 is going to be Mundo. Mundo got some buffs in patch 5.20 where his E is now an auto attack reset and also does 5% of his maximum health in the next auto attack, but it's also because of the changes happening in preseason, where bonus armor is really good right now since no one will build a Last Whisper, as it only affects bonus armor, so armor stacking is efficient, and I think the new masteries also help him too. His clears are actually really good, and in terms of sustain, it's actually quite a bit. I know a lot of people have been having success with Mundo. Me personally, I don't think I've been having a lot of success though, but I've seen his early game clears and they're really good. And well, when your win rate goes up by 7% in one patch, there's obviously something going on. And honestly, the only conclusion I have is something has to do with bonus armor and hit point. Next up, we have Kindred. Kindred does excel in the early game as she does have quite a bit of sustain and a lot of damage for those ganks and clears. The way she has like 4 mini gap closures to the enemy and has like a 70% slow on her E is just incredible for those ganks. She also snowballs fairly well due to her hunting passive and has a really good ultimate which provides a lot of utility for her and her team. Like her ultimate, if she's ahead, you'll never kill her or her team. You try and get those picks, it goes wrong, but honestly she just outputs a lot of damage for a jungle AD carry. And she also scales really good into the mid game and late game. Next up is my personal favorite, Graves jungle. I do feel like he is a better jungler than an AD carry, mainly because he can push away the units from attacking him, so he'll barely take any damage in the jungle. Plus he gets free armor from his E, and sometimes if you like angle yourself correctly, you can actually do AoE damage with your auto attacks on the creeps, so you can clear pretty good. And his ganks are good if he can get a flank on the enemy, and he also has a lot of burst damage coming from his Q and R, so that's definitely good for bursting out opponents. And once he gets enough AD, he can basically go up to a camp, give it an auto attack, and press Q, and the camp is gone. The base damage of his Q is insanely strong, and also having a steroid that gives you 40 armor and magic resist on your E, which stacks, is, well, it's pretty stupid. I mean, most teamfights you'll probably get 40 to 80, since you'll probably be using it twice or once. But still, it's pretty strong, especially when bonus armor is so good right now. Speaking of bonus armor, guess who's going to be at number 1? It's going to be Rammus. So as bonus armor is a really strong thing right now, Rammus gets a lot with his W, and if you guys didn't know, Rammus has also one of the highest base armors in the game. It's actually 104 at level 18 right beside Braum, which I guess is strong too. But mainly it's that bonus armor coming from his W, and it's just really hard to penetrate that thick skin of his. So yeah, he's probably the best right now in terms of the jungle, especially in this AD focused meta. And also, Thornmail plus his W equals a lot of damage when auto attackers attack him, plus lots of map pressure with his Q having a lot of mobility and home guarding to lanes if he wants. I haven't seen him a lot, but when I do, it's definitely worth noting that he's very troublesome. Alright, next up we're going to be doing some honorable mentions, and first up is going to be Elise. So, Runeglaive did get nerfed by 10 AP compared to the other jungle items, but you also get 50 more mana, which isn't that great, but whatever. So I feel like Cinderhulk is a bit better, but honestly it's like 10 AP. But yeah, most of the AP items did get nerfed, and also Spear Visage and Banshee's Veil now gives 70 magic resist, so it's easy to counter magic damage. And it's just a rough time for AP mages at the moment. Most of their AP items have gone up in price, so I recommend just buying the items, which didn't get nerfed too hard, or the ones that got buffed like Abyssal Scepter. Either way, she's a Season 5 jungler, and coming into Season 6, she's still going to be a good jungler. Next up is going to be Lee Sin, so he gets Tracker's Knife, which basically gives him what he wants, a Sightstone, so he can do that ward hop crap and, kick people to your team. But I feel like that's the only buff he kinda got. And I guess with the emphasis on early game, as he does fall off in the late game, he's actually a tad stronger, so I definitely recommend him if you're actually good at Lee Sin. Next up is going to be Nidalee, so again, I feel like she did get more nerfed than Elise since Elise has versatile builds, while Nidalee has to go full AP and has to get a Rabadon's death cap, which, as we all know, has increased to 3,800 gold. But the reason Nidalee is actually still good is because she's actually really good in the early game, so if you can emphasize the early game and snowball your lead and make it like a 20 or 30 minute game, you won't fall off. But if you can't, well, you're gonna have some problems in the mid game and late game, if you know what I'm saying. Because 70 magic resist, Banshee's Veil, and Spirit Visage is not looking that great for mages. And next up, we have Rengar. So I think Rengar is better in this meta because there are more squishies, and Ghostblade gives him, 35 more AD instead of the crit, where sometimes it wouldn't proc. Which there's also Rapid Fire Cannon, which helps his movement speed plus range to nuke those enemies. And I think the biggest change that helped him a lot was Lifesteal in the jungle. So giving him Lifesteal in the jungle, obviously he's an auto attack jungler, which indefinitely gives him more sustain. And yeah, that's basically it. He's just a bit better in the jungle. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about the new jungle. Do you guys like it? I definitely do, because I actually like the new feeling of Graves. It makes me feel powerful, and it's just loads of fun to me. So let me know what your favorite champion in the jungle is of this season, and if you want to support my channel, make sure to leave that like button, as it does help my channel a lot. And again, I am Panzer Dragon, and I'll see you guys next time.